That's how it's different. It's the essence of election year, and there's really no substance. If ever there was a year where you were going to vote for someone who was not a mainstream candidate in one of the Republican or Democratic Party, now would be the time to make your choice. The choices we have are, you mentioned Chuck Baldwin, the Constitutionalist Party. We know Bob Barr and Beer, right? Barr and Beer.
I don't know.
I mean,
Barr is running with.
I'm sorry,
Barr is for open borders in Mexico and the United States, so Barr's not going to win anyway. But Barr's a better vote than Obama or McCain still.
Why do you think people should? Do you think people should or group together on one party, or just vote their conscience at this point?
Vote your conscience, but even if your conscience tells you to vote for nobody, don't just sit at home that day. Go ahead and vote for somebody. Show them that you don't like the two choices that you have. Just vote for somebody that you know is not going to win if you don't like anybody, but show them that you don't like those two main choices.
I agree, and you
say Obama will win. Obama might win with 60%, but if all of us vote for somebody other than Obama or McCain, Obama might win with 45%. And what does that say? That's saying that he barely won and he can't do whatever he wants.
Yeah, so our voice can be heard even when it's silenced. That's pretty good. We can trust in Ron Paul's wisdom, making this choice to end his campaign for the presidency. The thing that we can take from this and look and gain from this decision is that we can finally put down our differences. We've been in a limbo in between the time that McCain was announced the presumptive nominee, and now we've all been continuing to press for this campaign. In one way or another, we've all supported Ron Paul's campaign for the presidency. I'm sure I can say that, and for all of us.
Ron Paul has over 1 million people support him.
Right, we're 1 million strong, and one thing that's been happening in this movement is that we've had a lot of resistance, for which direction to go, because everyone has different ideas of what we should do, and people want to go in different directions. Well, now those people that want to go in different directions can go, and they can go in different directions. And the people who are dedicated to this phenomena, even though it may seem kind of corny, the Ron Paul thing, the Ron Paul fans. What happened this last year, year and a half, moved a lot of people. A lot of people's lives changed dramatically just by.
I had nothing to do with politics until about July when a friend said, check Ron Paul out on Google. Google Ron Paul, Brian. And so I Googled Ron Paul, and I'm like, wow, he is awesome. And my friend said he unleashed a monster when he told me about Ron Paul. Because that's when I started doing all this stuff. And he was right up my alley, totally about the Constitution. And I'm actually right now looking at my wall of shame. I was in the Army for 7 years, and I call it my wall of shame. But I took an oath when I went in the Army to defend the Constitution against enemies foreign and domestic. And some people, when they get out of the military, they believe that oath stops. I believe that oath stands with me until I'm dead. And so that's another reason why I support Ron Paul.
Well, it sounds like you really understand what that oath means, and I commend you for your service and your continued service to all of us.
And I would never go back in the military.
I would never go to begin with. But that's probably another tangent. We can do another show at another time. But I wanted to say before we get back to your what you really wanted to call about, that we have weeded out. We've been able to weed out to this point now a lot of. That's what we'll be able to do from this point forward, is weed out those people who were kind of dragging us down and wanting to repress certain aspects of the campaign to further others, or to knock some people out because they don't agree with the direction that they're going. Rather than that sort of resistance, perhaps those people can finally move in the direction that they want to. We can eliminate the people who are not really in this movement for productive, beneficial, and creative reasons. Now we're left with the cream of the crop, the creative people, the people that put in the effort, the hard work, the creative people, the educated, intelligent, loyal, dedicated, freedom-loving Ron Paul fans. That's what we'll have left in this movement, and we'll be able to continue to build from that, because once you're a Ron Paul supporter, you're never not a Ron Paul supporter, whether he's running for president or not. That's what. So it will only continue to grow. But the great
I'm
thing
waiting for Rand Paul to run in the next few years.
That would be awesome. That will be awesome. That will be awesome.
He already has the support, and we're going to be supporters still. And then he'll only get more supporters, and he might have a good shot.
So tell me about your creative idea that you wanted to share about how you can help Ron Paul supporters can help themselves be more economically sound, so that they can continue to work towards liberating the Constitution.
Well, my friend Chris Lawton came up with the Ron Paul toolbar, and probably some of the listeners have the Ron Paul toolbar. And the Ron Paul toolbar makes money. And the money we get from the Ron Paul toolbar, people vote on, and it goes to the Granny Warriors, or it goes to Ron Paul Radio. I think it went to Ron Paul Radio once. Or it goes to Ron Paul Racing. But that's one way to help with the revolution on different aspects of it. Okay? And what's that?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So you got a little. It gets money for when people advertise advertisements that.
Right. When you search on the Ron Paul toolbar, some of that money goes to the Ron Paul toolbar, and then people vote on where it goes, and we give it to where the people voted on. Whether it goes to Ron Paul Radio or it goes to the Granny Warriors to help her. But I want to let everybody know, not everybody can make it to Sturgis, South Dakota on July 2nd, and not everybody can make it to Ron Paul March on July 12th. Try to do one or the other. Make it to one or the other if you can. People that live out on the West Coast, go to Sturgis. People that live on the East Coast, go to Washington. Or if you're wealthy, go to both. But the product I wanted to tell you about is called Rejuvenate. And Rejuvenate is an MLM, multi-level marketing. And what me and Chris Lawton and Jose Carrera, that was with the Ron Paul campaign, and Amanda Moore, that was with the Ron Paul campaign, now they both work for Chuck Baldwin, they all do this. They all do Rejuvenate. It makes you look and feel 10 years younger. And we all discussed one big problem with Ron Paul supporters is none of us had enough money. I really didn't even have enough money to do what I did, but I did it anyway. And we want to put money in the patriots' pocket. And then the next big thing, we'll be able to afford it and go places and be able to make it to both Sturgis and Washington if we wanted, because we'll have that freedom to do so.
Yeah, that's for sure. Money is definitely liberating the way the things are set up now. And listening to some of the delegates and their stories about having to go to their conventions and then planning to go to the national convention, there's a lot of out-of-pocket expenses that people have to go through.